Who's your number one? Who are you rooting for? Who do you want to win? If it was up to you, who would be the nominee on the Democratic side?
Andrew Yang.
Andrew Yang?
Yeah.
Give me a reason. Why Andrew Yang?
Well, I tend to be libertarian leaning, and I believe that he still wants to keep up with the deregulation. He kind of wants to restructure the welfare state with his UBI program, which I think is more cost effective and promotes more equality. So.
Hands down, Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders? 100%?
100%.
Do you have a close second, or is it Bernie and then like a big gap between everybody else?
I would say close second, Warren. One key difference is the student debt crisis. Bernie Sanders wants to wipe all of that.
Like
which
it's
I think
1.3
really
or 1.6
yeah,
versus
yeah,
the 6
exactly.
billion. Yeah, so
and then
it's literally double.
Yeah, and then also on top of that, we also have the general election.
Yes.
So Warren says, I want to take money from
Big donors.
PACs and big donors, and Sanders says no. That
through and
principle,
through, from start to finish.
40 years.
Yes, general
40 years
election doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's not taking any big PAC money.
Yeah.
You can't ask for anything else in a goddamn nominee. Who's your ride or die?
Bernie Sanders, all the way. I supported him from the first time I heard about him. I just started researching him, and I liked everything he said, everything he stands for, and he hasn't given me a reason to not support him.
I love it. I love that. So is there a close second? Do you have anyone that's close to you?
Warren is a very close second.
Okay, very good. Is there someone on the Democratic side that you are gun-ho about?
Well, I'm still open-minded to all of them. I'm willing to let all of them. I want to hear them all speak.
So your main thing, your main go-to right now is anyone but Trump.
Anyone but Trump, yes.
There's a few candidates that I sometimes I wish there are elements I could take from a bunch of different candidates and put them into like the perfect candidate,
yeah,
right?
don't we all?
I love Elizabeth Warren. I think she's so prepared. I think she would be such an amazing president. I think she has the policy. I think she has the poise. I obviously love Bernie Sanders because of his energy and just his lifelong commitment to the kind of values that I think are important.
If you had to choose one, two, who's your one, who's your two?
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
tough. That's tough. I'd probably go with Warren.
There you go.
I'd probably go with Warren.
Listen. I'm a Bernie bro through and through. You guys know how I roll. You know, I'm not even gonna pretend. I'm from Massachusetts. Elizabeth
Okay.
Warren has a real soft spot for me.
Yeah.
And like you said, they are. If my definition of a perfect politician is Bernie, Elizabeth Warren is as close to perfect as you possibly can be.
Totally.
I love them both. Either or, I'm the happiest human being alive. Right?
Exactly.
So it sounds to me, I'm gonna just take a leap of faith here and guess Bernie Sanders is your guy.
100%.
100%. And since 2016.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Bernie, I love you.
Yes, go Bernie.
You are the man.
Yes.
And we need you this time out. We
Yes.
really need you.
Who's your number one guy?
Bernie Sanders.
That's it. Oh, you guys make me so happy. I love that with a passion through and through. I love it with a passion through and through. So if Bernie Sanders is your number one, do you have a close two? Is there a number two for you? Or is it Bernie Sanders, huge gap, everybody else?
So Bernie is obviously my first choice. I would say Tulsi Gabbard is a close second, followed by a tie between Andrew Yang and Elizabeth Warren.
Ooh, so Tulsi Gabbard, Andrew Yang, those are some outside the box candidates, right? So those are a little out the way.
I'm a very avid Bernie supporter. I mean, that's just hands down for me. I was a huge Bernie supporter in 2016 as well.
Who is your number one? Who is your number two? I want to know those your top two right now.
So Bernie's definitely my number one.
Okay.
And I love Senator Warren. I mean, Elizabeth Warren is definitely my number two, but I wouldn't be against voting for Kamala in a general election.
So I see your shirt, so I'm not going to ask who your number one is, but I'm going to ask why your number one is Biden.
Because he knows what he's doing. He's been there for quite some time, and I respect him to the utmost, and his polling numbers are up, and I want to keep him that way.
So you're saying no matter the candidate, whoever it is, you are going to vote against Trump. But I'm asking personally, if it was up to you and Biden didn't make it, do you have a number two?
I hadn't even thought about that.
Oh, see, you see how positive she is for her main man Biden. I don't agree, but I'm happy.
Yes,
I like the positive vibes.
I haven't thought about that.
Who is your number one? Who is your go rah I came for this candidate reason?
Bernie, or the reason?
Yeah, well, the person. Who's the candidate?
Bernie Sanders is the
Bernie
candidate.
Sanders
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm gonna assume, Amanda, that you, for the most part, agree with him when it comes to just who the guy is. So your main person is Bernie Sanders. I'm gonna make that assumption, and you have the Bernie shirt. So yeah, go Bernie, go Bernie. I like what you do. Go. Oh, that's my people. That's my people. That's my people. So do you have a close second? Who is that close second?
It would be Elizabeth Warren.
Why? Why is she a close second?
She's the second most progressive politician kind of in the national spotlight and in the race, of course. She has also signed the Progressive Pledge, and so that's very important to me.
Woot woot.
And man, can she give it to those bank executives. I just love watching her.
Absolutely Bernie.
Is there a close second, or is it Bernie and then a far space between everybody else?
I think that Elizabeth Warren is probably second, and I think that Tulsi's okay. I got to meet her in Iowa. I think that that a couple of people are saying a couple of things, but it's like we need an FDR moment, and Bernie's the only one that can provide.
Who's your person?
Bernie Sanders.
Through and through.
Through and through.
Oh yeah. So tell me a why. Why is it Bernie Sanders?
Because he believes in the things I believe in. I believe in a better world for this country and a better world for the 99%. We all work hard. We all aren't making it. We all are not comfortable. We're struggling. There's worry on our minds. And if we're supposed to be the best country in the world, then why do the citizens, why are we so desperate? Why are we hurting so bad?
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders, through and through.
Through and through.
He's your guy.
He's like, yeah, absolutely.
Is there a close second? Is there someone else you would?
Warren.
Warren. All right, so you're a policy junkie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm policy
I'm
junkie.
about that life. These are my people. These are my people.
Yes, I'm a policy junkie. Yeah, and I love Warren.
Yes.
I really do.
I believe this gentleman is the man for the job.
A little higher.
This gentleman right here. This gentleman. That gentleman is the man for the job. That man takes after the spirit of Dr. King's democratic socialism.
I love it.
For the job.
So Bernie Sanders. Is there anyone that's a close second, or is it Bernie and a huge gap?
Oh my gosh. The only close second is Elizabeth. And I like Elizabeth. I think that Bernie and Elizabeth should keep sharpening one another. I think that her plans are very solid and very detail oriented. I think that's one area that Bernie could learn from, but I think that he's starting to, as I saw him at his rally here in Detroit, kind of get more specific. He has the stomp speech. That's what brought him here. That's what brought the Justice Democrats. That's what brought all the progressives. Now it's time to do Our Revolution, the remix, which is not me, but us. And he's doing that. So Elizabeth Warren would be a close second. Everybody else is just really falling short. But Bernie's number one for specific reasons for me.
He said the remix, ladies and gentlemen. The goddamn remix. I love it.
My go-to candidate will be Mr. It's a Mr.
It's too early, huh? You don't even know the name of your go-to candidate. Who's that?
Mr. Bernie Sanders.
Yes, sir. That's my guy.
Bernie, East Coast guy. I'm gonna say Mr. Sanders.
Why?
Because I like what Mr. Sanders stands for. I like Mr. Sanders' style. He's truthful. He's honest, and he has an immaculate track record that I've looked into.
Of course, I'm right there with you. I'm a Bernie bro, all through and through. That's my life.
But now I'm gonna tell you, I'm leaning another way. But
who?
Don't worry about my secondary.
All right.
Yeah. So Bernie Sanders, I think, is the best choice possible. Like, he forwards every single thing we need to be talking about in this country. So whether it be getting corporate money out of politics, whether it be raising the minimum wage, whether it be Medicare for all, he's led on all of those issues since the 60s. He's led on civil rights since the 60s, whenever it was not popular to do that. And that's actually the main reason why I love him. But a close second is definitely Elizabeth Warren. Like, if this were any other year, it's like, oh my God, Elizabeth Warren, he was running for president. Thank God. But it's like, Elizabeth Warren, I love you, but that's the man. Like like he's the number one candidate,
Primary candidate is Bernie.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Do you agree?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Hit me with the no side. So explain to me why. First of all, tell me who is the other person, and then explain to me why it's a yes and no.
It's Elizabeth Warren.
Okay.
I have friends that say it's not time for a female president. I say that Hillary Clinton won the popular election for a reason. I think Elizabeth Warren has made some bold statements and some huge changes in the way she's looking at things, but
I will take either one.
Yes. So this is the Democratic debate. You just mentioned Bernie, so I do have to ask the follow-up question is Bernie your number one? Is he your go-to guy?
Right now, yeah.
He's your go-to guy. Is there a close second? Is there anyone who's second, or is there nobody else?
Elizabeth Warren is my second right now. Yeah, I would say those are my two big picks right now.
Two big picks.
Bernie.
Bernie, Bernie train. Bernie train.
With Warren coming in second.
Great, yeah, definitely.
Close second is Warren.
Yes, close second is Warren.
I'm supporting Warren, and I'm supporting her because I believe we need somebody who did their homework. We've tried not having that, and it hasn't worked out so well for us. So I like a candidate that comes prepared, does their homework, and is a nerd. And she's proven through her work as a professor and all of her policy proposals thus far that she's the best prepared that we have and the most progressive that we have. I think she has all of our best interests at heart.
I can't disagree. You guys, so y'all know me back home as a Bernie bro, but if it is what Bernie and Warren, that's like picking between siblings. It's not fair. It's just not fair. I love them both. I'm going to be honest. I do love them both. I think both of them are great. In fact, this is inside scoop information. I am donating to both campaigns. But I have to say, so for a lot of people who are for Warren, I know a few folks who are like, I'm not so much for Bernie. Are you in the I'm for Warren, anti-Bernie, or I'm both for the most progressives in the race, which would be Bernie and Warren?
You know, I gotta say, I'm gonna be really proud after the primary to cast my vote for whatever Democrat gets the nomination.
Congratulations.
I think you can't deny Bernie's impact on moving progressive politics further to the left. We wouldn't be standing here being able to support a progressive politician without the groundwork that Bernie's laid throughout his career in politics. He has been holding it down for the left for years.
Yes.
And you gotta love him for that.
I love this left-sided camaraderie. That's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. This is democracy in action. You're seeing it happen as we speak.